If I decide that I've been in that boat.
Okay, get out the boat. Get back on this boat.
No, I had a job.
And you quit.
And no, I didn't. I resigned.
That's quitting.
It's not quitting. Quitting is I can't do the job. Resigning is I give my job back to you. I don't want it no more. No, that's the difference. I have no problem with somebody quitting the job.
So, because it was killing you.
It's
So
killing
why
me.
did you apply to the same job again?
Let's begin now.
Got my first job at Comcast. You was charging me $300 a month. Okay, what were you doing with that $300?
You got some daggone trust issues.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. I'm
was
gonna
in
tell you something. You can't.
Y'all was in there shopping together.
Do not get married.
Y'all was in there shopping together.
Do not get married.
Well, I'm Mike. This is my beautiful mom, Linda.
Hey, y'all.
Welcome back to another episode of the Mike and His Mom Show. I'm Mike, and this is my beautiful mom and her new hairdo, Linda.
Oh, wow. You noticed.
Yeah. The post office noticed too.
Yes, they did.
Made sure
I
they
was
did.
there today.
It's my mom, Linda. Today we got a nice slate of topics we're going to talk about. But first, how was... Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, let me speak. Hello. And with my new hairdo, it is my hair. Just wanted to say that because you act like maybe.
I didn't act like that.
I'm just want to clarify this thing right now.
How was your week?
My week was wonderful. I got a new hairdo, as you can see. I had a great time. I went to my husband's job. I showed up there today unexpectedly. It was a great vibe. I'm telling you, I just loved it. And how was your week?
Good. So
what?
okay, I want to put a bookmark there.
Bookmark.
Put
And we're going to come back there.
Yeah.
Shannon,
Shannon's
put a
here
bookmark.
too.
Shannon, put a bookmark
Make
there.
yourself useful. Put a bookmark there.
A bookmark at the post office.
You went back to your old job and it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, bookmark there.
My week was cool. Working out. Went to the gym. Went to work. I'm a frontline engineer.
What does that mean? That's a new title.
I'm a frontline engineer of market relations for Pepsi.
Okay,
So
all right.
It was cool.
What do you do? What's the? Is that like kind of
Can
IT
you-
stuff? Or
listen.
you know?
How did you know me?
Okay. Frontline engineer.
Of market relations, yes.
Yeah. The market. Okay.
Sunday, I had a unusual experience. I thought it was trauma, but it was more so just shock.
Okay.
I was at the hospital with someone from my church, dropping them off so they can go visit somebody. And I was parked in front of the emergency room doors. And I could hear, as I was watching the Ravens game live on Hulu, I could hear a car honking, but they was holding on to the horn. Like, right, to let you know they was
Seriously, something was
not
going
serious, but just coming.
on. Right.
And they pulled in front of me, and the guy was hanging out of the passenger side door, like hanging out the door.
Hanging out the passenger side door.
Correct.
Okay.
Was the door open?
The door was open. Yeah, the door was.
trying to get out.
He was trying to.
What was he in the back or the
He
front?
was in the front.
Okay.
And when they stopped in front of me, he fell out. And the girl that was driving him got the car, ran in. Hey, what do I do? I need help. And I didn't know what was going on, but I could tell he was in some sort of pain. And I had a split second thought of maybe I should get out, but I didn't know what I would do if I got out, so I didn't.
Okay.
I just stayed put. And the doctors ran out, looked at him, said, "Oh, he's been shot. Get a stretcher." And then once they said he was shot and they rolled him over, I could see the blood on his hands.
Okay.
And they lifted up his shirt to see where the bullet wounds were,
Bullet wounds?
or
wound?
the shot, the holes. And it was like a scene from Boys in the Hood. Like it was, I've never seen nothing like that before. And it made me go back to when I used to drive professionally.
Okay. He's a professional driver. Okay, go ahead.
I used to drive.
What was the company you drove for professionally?
Keep relaxed.
I just asked the question.
I
Because you got all these frontline engineer jobs. And these, I mean, yeah,
I used to drive professionally.
okay.
And,
Or was it, I mean,
and when I was used to driving around the city of Baltimore.
so what?
Can
Go ahead.
you stop?
No, I'm just asking the question because you professionally drove around the city of Baltimore? that's the part that I mean.
Yes, I had transportation service.
Oh, okay. What's the name of it? 4-letter word.
Anyway, when I was driving professionally with my transportation service,
Okay.
I would see a lot of, I told you this before,
Okay.
caution tape around the city. And I've never seen it as much as I did. I mean, I've seen it before in the past, but because I'm out driving so much more and I'm just out more, I would see a lot of crime scene, caution tape, do not cross lines, all the yellow tape. Sometimes I would see the CSI vans, the corners. And it really affected me mentally. And after seeing that yesterday at the hospital, it brought me back to that. Like I used to get so nervous and so paranoid driving professionally.
So is that why you gave up your professional business? You got rid of the LLC license and all that stuff?
No, I just was doing something different.
So who took over your business?
All right, you know what?
I'm just asking the question.
I'm trying to. All right.
Okay, go ahead,
She'll
go
kill all
ahead.
my trauma, y'all. So
You said it wasn't trauma, it just took you back
it
to
was
the
shock.
memories.
Yeah, I was in shock. Like this is how it affected me. I used to think I would get shot
While you was driving.
while I was driving professionally. I used to think somebody just run up on me and just shoot me. 'Cause after seeing all that stuff, that's why a part of me I'm glad I stopped because it was really affecting my mental state.
You know, they only would shoot you while you're in your professional job or just driving.
Both.
Okay.
I used to think while I'm just waiting for my client to come out,
Okay.
somebody just run up on me and just shoot me.
They must be like,
But that's what that happens to a lot of people though in different situations. Like the
But what I'm saying is, I had no I wasn't involved in anything. I wasn't outside in the
but
streets.
you didn't
like
have to. You don't have to be involved.
No, I agree, but I would have never had those thoughts had I not been outside driving and seeing
Seeing all them
all
caution
that stuff.
tapes.
Yeah, all that tape.
Do you think there could been, like by you seeing all them caution tapes, like you seeing all this stuff? Do you think there could have been a message from the Lord saying it's time to give this up? Because when you first started your professional driving in Baltimore City, did you notice? Did you notice all that stuff then, or was it
no, it was
gradually?
Yeah, it was
after?
gradually. Yeah, it was gradually.
Yeah, so maybe it was time for you. I need him to get up off these streets. It's time for him to stop and go to something else. So
Yeah.
It could have been that.
It could have been. I'm gonna talk about that. It could have been. But that was my week. Now, Shannon, you got the bookmark. I asked you. What was it again?
mother goes to work, goes back to her old job.
Back to our old
I
job.
didn't go back to my old job.
See,
I
yeah,
went
that's-
down there.
Now, this wasn't on our topics today, but since we're here,
Okay, let's talk
how did it
about
feel? Going back to an old familiar place.
Well, I went down there because my husband works there. That's why I went down there. And I was like, let me just go. Even though Gene said he didn't need me to bring his jacket, I was feeling great today, beautiful and all that kind of stuff. Let me just show up. So when I went in there and everybody was like, hey, Linda, because I used to work there myself. They were like, Linda, hey, how you doing, Linda, this, Linda. And then Gene came out the bathroom. They said, he just went in the bathroom. I'm like, he came out the bathroom. He said, I told you. I said, oh, who's that fine man over there? I was talking
Okay,
about my husband. How did it feel? Just
thank you.
giving you a
Jesus
whole
Christ. How did it
thing.
feel?
It felt good. But you know what the best part about it was? Because people that I used to work with, they're still so loving and they're kind and they're warm and they're accepting. So it just felt good to be able to go into the environment and still, get the warm hugs. But just one girl that doesn't know who I am, I was like, yeah, I'm trying to find my husband because he had went down the floor. And she said, who's your husband? I said, Gene Tribble. She said, oh, is he your real husband? And I had to grab her arm.
You got your ring on? Oh, I'm asking.
Yeah.
I wasn't there with you.
She said, is he your real husband? I had to grab her arm. I said, let's walk down the floor and find out if he's my real husband or not. And a couple of people was like, hey, Linda, how you doing? So I guess in her mind, she was like, oh, well, maybe he is a real husband. Because she said something kind of like that to the effect. And when I got close to him, I said, hey, Gene. I said, this young lady right here want to know if you're my real husband. And he laughed and she said, you're his real wife? I said, I'm his real wife. He's my real husband. I said, just in case everybody don't know, I am Linda Tribble. I'm the real wife. He's the real husband. She said, you have a very pretty wife. I said, you're beautiful yourself. Thank you. So it was a good feeling. I had to tell a whole story because sometimes, you just feeling good today. Today I'm feeling good. I'm feeling lively. I'm feeling vibrant.
Well,
another cut me off now?
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. All right, go ahead.
Another bookmark. Sometimes you have to let people know
who you are.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Put that down, Shannon, really quickly. Now, this is the reason why I asked you.
Why?
Because I went to therapy today.
Did let therapists know who you are?
No.
Oh.
But we were talking about work.
Mm-hmm.
And in my entrepreneurial journey, one thing I missed about being at work was the interaction with people.
With people.
Um,
Because you don't get that.
you
when
don't
you're
get it.
Yeah.
Especially if you work not just at home, but if you work your business at home,
Yeah.
you don't have those daily interactions, and that's a part of
That's social. That's
yeah.
social.
Like that's why I asked, like seeing the people, hey, Linda, and them kind of just remembering you remembering them. Like, do you? Because you work from home, you're an entrepreneur yourself, so do you miss that?
I miss it, and I think about it at times too. And especially when COVID came, I really missed it because by me still being an entrepreneur during that time of the season, I couldn't go out in my business and involve myself to work in my business. So I like interacting with people. I like to be around people. However, I'm learning to not miss going in a job per se, but making my entrepreneurial business work for me that I am meeting people. So when I'm out in the field, when I go to the store and stuff, I can hand out my business card. So I'm still doing what I did, but I'm not. Here's the deal. So when you go to a job, the same job every day, year after year, you're dealing with the same people. But in the entrepreneurial business, you get to meet new people all the time. So I really like that part of it.
Hey, that's a good point because when I was in corporate sales,
That much true.
all of my jobs.
That's a good one, huh? Corporate sales. Okay.
Yeah. I was meeting, although I was working with the same people, I was still meeting or interacting with different people every day.
Because on the phone.
No, I was in person. This is when I was in person.
Oh, how would you meet people every day?
They would come into our headquarters.
Okay, they come inside the building.
Yeah. So I never thought about that part. But yeah, like doing what I do now, I still don't have that daily interaction with people. I'm kind of all to myself with what I do in the marketplace.
But you can make it because if you out there and you meeting people, see if you start handing out your business card and meeting people, if you see a person you feel like hey, if you start holding conversations and you can find out something about them that they can be a part of what you're doing.
Yeah, so I'll agree to that. It forces you to get out your comfort zone.
Right.
But
because you never know who you may interview.
But I do think this is that's one of the difficult parts of the entrepreneurial journey, leaving your traditional job, is the feeling of not just doing it by yourself, but being by yourself during that process. Because you're at a certain point, you're starting it just all by yourself from the ground up. And you're working just on your own or by yourself, whether it's from home, out in the field, or whatever the case is. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. I talked about it in therapy. I thought it was interesting you brought that up. Mm-hmm. Our first topic today is going to be the private you versus the public you. Now, that just simply means
what?
The you in private versus the you in public.
Okay.
And I wanted to talk about this because I noticed this week one of my private struggles. Mm-hmm. And one of them was being single. I don't struggle with it per se, but being in my home by myself, I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, coming home to peace and quiet. But it hits me. This is when it hits me. It hits me at dinner time. When I'm sitting down, eating, and it's just too quiet in here. It's just, and what I do, because I do enjoy being with myself and sitting with myself. I make sure I'm not on the phone. I ain't watching no videos. I'm just enjoying my meal. Mm-hmm. But sometimes I catch myself eating fast,
so you can hurry.
So I can hurry and get up, and I'm not eating by myself no more. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I really like that. I struggle with that in private. Because in public, when I'm outside with my friends and my homeboys and we in the mix, we chilling, or whether I'm in church or whatever the case is, there's no reason for me to display that so you don't see it. So you just think, oh, everything's cool. But when I go back home sometimes, I'll be a little bored, a little lonely.
So I woke up this morning early. I was thinking about that private you versus the public you. And so I don't know. Something I want to say, it just slips my mind right now. But if you're struggling with it at home, right? That's the private you. It's some things that you don't want to make public anyway. So what would that look like when you being out there in the public saying?
That's a good question. So I wouldn't say it. I would just display it, right?
But how would you display it?
I would be, and it's just for me. It's just for me. It's just for me.
Right, go ahead. It's just for you.
I ain't speaking about nobody else. When that spirit of loneliness creeps in, and you want somebody else in the picture, like if I want a woman in the picture, I'm gonna be in every woman's face in that moment. Like so if I'm outside with my homeboys,
and the girl come up, you're gonna be in her face.
I'm interacting with more girls than I normally would.
Okay.
If at all. Like I'm in her face. Hey, you want to drink here? You want to drink there? Or you want to? Hey, what you eating? Let me go ahead and buy you. I got whatever the case is. I would be all over the place.
Okay.
I'm not coming outside and telling you, I'm lonely in the crib, bro. Like,
okay, so that would be the public. That would be the
private
struggle coming
itself
into public.
Right, and with that example, yes.
Okay, so since you know the private you, and I was thinking about when you talk about the private you versus the public you, then I had a different kind of twist on it too, because we're not talking about for me we're not talking about because you drink by yourself, you're not drinking out in public and all that kind of stuff. You know, certain things that you don't do, but I was thinking about as far as being my authentic self, like I can be passionate about a conversation. I can want to do something different, but when I get around certain people, because how they see you, okay, you're not going to be as passionate anymore. You're gonna step back. You're not going to let your light shine. But that pride, you was like, I want my light to shine. But then when you get out in the public, what are they going to think about me? How are they going to see me? I already know how they feel. I already know they're going to say no. Different things like that. So it's different aspects of that private you when you come out in public. And that one that you just talked about, sure, I do agree. You won't be out there like, I'm not, that's a time to learn how to enjoy yourself publicly as you're enjoying yourself privately. Because I'm not going to be flaunting my money with any and everybody. But then there's also what I was just talking about. I want to advance. I want to have input in situations. And just because this person sees different or these people in this group sees different or I feel different or what are they going to think or what are they going to say? I should still, or, if anybody else is going through that, we should still give our input and not feel like, I got to shrink down, so to speak. Because privately, I've had these great conversations. Privately, I have these great ideas. But then when I get in the public, I'm shrinking.
Okay, well, let's address one issue at a time.
What's that?
You have anything to say about
what you just said?
me eating by myself?
I just addressed that. I just addressed all of that. I just said that.
Well, you said I gotta go outside and spend all my money.
No. I said you be okay with your.
Be clear, I don't do that anyway.
But be okay with who you are. You get to enjoy yourself.
Well, I do. And this is why I harken back to myself, because I have no problem doing that. I go to the movie by myself. I go to eat by myself. I take myself on dates. I think that's healthy to date yourself.
I'm gonna put a pin. No, I don't want to put no bookmark. I'm gonna just add something to it. And you're also learning how you want to be treated. I'm treating myself in such a manner that when someone comes into my life, it's no treating me in anything different than what I'm used to. I'm used to the love. I'm used to having a good time with just being by myself. Yeah. I'm used to all of this. So when you get back out there into the dating world, when you find someone else, whatever, you're not going to accept just any old thing. We ain't doing this.
No, I agree. And another struggle, like it used to come, not the loneliness, but I think where, depending upon where I was in life at the time, many years ago, the hardest time for me would be going to bed at night. Because I'm laying there in the dark by myself, and now I'm sitting, like before I go to sleep, I'm sitting with all my thoughts. I'm sitting with
She's snapping her fingers. You're sitting with your
I'm
thoughts.
sitting with my thoughts, my insecurities, whatever my issues is, and it used to be hard for me just to go to bed. I used to really, seriously, I used to really not hate going to sleep, but it used to be a very difficult time where, damn, or I would try to stay up as long as I can to make going to sleep going to sleep be easier.
Because you get
But
so
is it
tired.
because you were used to having somebody to go to sleep with?
No, it wasn't. No, this wasn't relationship wise.
Oh, okay.
This was like whatever was going on in my life. Period.
Oh, okay.
Like me just not feeling the best about whatever I'm dealing with at the time.
So
So why didn't you use those waking hours to fix your life?
I don't know. I didn't know what was wrong.
I
Or I thought I did. I was just feeling so much.
And I can agree with you on that because sometimes you don't know.
Wait, because you had time sleeping? Trouble sleeping? Or
No. Sometimes you just don't know what to fix or how to fix it or how to do. So, let me tell you where my good moods really came from.
and so it wasn't the hair.
My hair's done too. But we're going to talk about, I've been saying to Gene, let's just exercise. Let's do some stretching together. Let's do this. Let's do that. And he did not want to do it. But last night he finally agreed. And we stretched and we did this and we've been doing other things with the healing scriptures and stuff. And I'm adding little pieces in. And last night he finally agreed and we did it. And it was like, wow, I can see a change coming on. I felt better about myself. I felt better because there's certain things that I've been praying for. There's certain things that I've been believing for that there's happening. And sometimes it's not for us to fix. It's for us to ask for it and then to just walk in it. Like, for me, take a step back. Be quiet for a moment. Humble yourself and watch God do some things. So that is like, anyway, falling asleep is very great and easy.
For you, right? Yeah.
It's not easy for you right now?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm just saying that was a private struggle I used to have.
I've had that struggle before too. I used to lay in the bed and cry.
About what?
Whatever was going on.
While you was married?
Married? Before I was married?
Was he still asleep while you was crying, or was he?
I wasn't crying. I wasn't crying loud like that. I mean, I was like, it wasn't that.
I'm saying, but.
So he did not hear.
Oh, so he didn't know you was asleep. I mean, he didn't know he was crying while he was asleep.
Right.
Oh.
Or sitting in the house all day long and pretending to do some work and haven't done anything, wasn't working my business, anything because of what was going on in life. But then coming outside in the public, laughing and acting like everything is okay. And not saying that my home life was bad. There were some struggles that was outside. There were struggles in my business. But just pretending this front. And here's the deal. For me, when I pretend that I don't like pretending that everything is okay.
I was saying, are you pretending or are you just outside?
No, I'm just saying, when I pretend, this is what I'm saying. When I pretend that everything is okay, I had to learn not to pretend everything is okay. Because when I pretend that that everything is fine, I stop talking to God. That's what I did. Like everything ain't fine.
But how do you pretend in public versus?
Well, pretending in public, it's not pretending in public because in public.
You're outside.
I'm outside, so I'm not carrying the woes and stuff around because
it's kind of like a break from it, isn't it?
It's a distraction almost.
Yeah.
And who wants to hear it anyway? Because I sure don't. You know?
You don't want to hear what?
The woes
Of somebody else?
of mine, my own, or somebody else.
See,
What?
I used to think that.
What?
And this is with church, not people,
It's messing with my vision.
but you'll ask somebody, hey, how you doing? I'm good, can't complain. And I used to say, well, you could, but I don't want to hear it. But sometimes I think it's okay to complain. Just
It's not complaining. It's okay to vent.
Just to get it out.
To get it out, right?
So if somebody asks you how you doing today and you got the woes,
it all depends on who that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Be careful who it is. But if you feel like you got to get them woes out when they ask you, you know what? Since you asked,
Here we go.
that's how I'm doing today. You know what I'm saying?
And you look and they done ran all the way down the street. I got to get away from that person.
I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
No, it's
Because
not.
you asked.
It's not nothing wrong. It's not nothing wrong with it. It's not nothing wrong with having that conversation where you need to let go of some stuff.
It ain't
Are
gotta
we
be-
are we off the topic?
It don't even have to be a conversation.
Are we off the public view?
No, it's all this is about.
Yeah, it's public.
This is because this is the public part.
Right.
Because in public, we mask our private struggles with. Oh,
But you
everything's good, I
can't give
complain.
everybody your private struggles.
I agree with that.
You know
So
what my issue is?
No.
I don't share my private joys. So I don't really feel like I have a lot of private struggles. I feel like I just am. People would say I'm private, but I don't really look at it as I'm private. I just don't talk about.
right, like I just
And I do want to start talking about. Like, I'm not the person who posts on. I was looking at on Instagram the other day, and I was like, wow, this girl daughter has really grown up to be so big and pretty, right? And I'm like, I don't post pictures of my children, so nobody was like, wow, they've grown up to be so big. But I was like, but that's just not my thing.
My
Like,
cup
I
of
just
tea.
keep it to myself. You know what I mean? But I do feel like I want to start
sharing some stuff.
sharing my private joys because I feel like
Because the world could benefit
from it.
from the private joys. They could,
that's
right.
what I'm realizing.
Because I think everybody has struggles. Everybody. But like you just said, we're not sharing. Like I just shared the thing with Gene. I mean, it just really was fun. It just really, the light bulb just like, wow, it got really bright. And to share something like that, somebody might say, oh, that's not, that's just, but somebody else can hear that. Somebody else, so we need to share more of the private joys. Just look how big the triplets are now. Look, oh, you have triplets. You know, stuff like that. You know, we don't share enough of that. It's the sad stories.
And that's what I was talking to you
I
about.
don't want to hear.
Remember, I was
Right.
telling everybody I talked to, I said you would think that we all had a miserable life.
Right.
Because every time we talk, somebody is complaining about something.
About
It's
something.
like, well, ain't nothing else going on. And I don't know why that came to
Right,
that day.
right.
But like I was talking to a friend, I was like, girl, if nobody knew you and they based it on your conversation with me, they would think you had a miserable life. And she was like, I was like, stop complaining about everything. You have so much stuff good going for you, you know. But it wasn't like a shade to her. It was like we all
We
kind
need
of-
to wake up
Yeah.
to that reality.
Well, I think that's an interesting point. 'Cause I never thought about it until you said it. Like your private,
Oh, could you fix that back down?
your private joys, private joyful moments. It's making me sit here and think about, well, what are some of my private
Joyful moments.
joyful moments?
What are they?
I don't know.
That's because culture
See?
has created you to believe that you are always traumatized.
Right.
We just realized you weren't even traumatized.
Right. You weren't traumatized.
Like, well, I gotta get up out of here. You coming back to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, were you traumatized? Like, dang, it is sad, but did it really create trauma? That's why I really hate that whole thing that's going around. It's like childhood trauma. It's like, oh,
Childhood,
be
right.
quiet. Like,
You're not
there's not that
traumatized.
much trauma in the world. I mean, I think there are things that happen that are bad, but I don't
Right.
think that people are traumatized, and so now we're.
Well, some people are, but everybody isn't.
Yeah, I think most. I would like to think most people are not traumatized.
Oh, you're right. They just they grab hold to what the world says.
Oh,
Instead-
this is trauma.
Right.
Like it's not trauma. It was punishment.
So, what are some of your? If we could go around the room.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a private joy to share?
I just shared one with the exercise.
Oh yeah.
That was just a very
yeah.
yeah. I mean, it was just
I got one.
what?
But you know what we do sometimes?
No, come on. What's the joy? You just took.
Well, I want to tell the lesson in the joy.
Okay, all right.
What we do is that we'll have a moment to celebrate ourselves, but then we'll create a reason in that same moment to not do it. That's what I mean by that. I'm getting skinny.
As we can see.
And I weighed myself over the weekend. And I was lower than I've been in a very long time. But I've been at that number before. And I said, don't celebrate this moment. And I had to create, even though it's a moment we're celebrating, because it took me a while to even get here, and I got here in such a short period of time, I caught myself from appreciating the fact that I worked to get back to this place. But since I've been here before, I said, no, don't celebrate it.
because you want to get past
I
it
want to get past it
so I can celebrate.
so I can celebrate the next part of the journey.
But this is a
But
journey.
it's still, but
Part of the
I agree,
journey.
but it's still a moment to
Celebrate.
celebrate. I do. But I also think that's a
struggle.
That's a struggle too.
Right.
That-
But this, like Shannon was just saying,
To celebrate
To
yourself.
celebrate, we shouldn't, because of how the world has created people. We so focused on the negative that when the joy comes, like you just said,
You
I'm
don't
not
even,
going to celebrate.
you don't even realize it's joy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're taught.
It's like you're beating yourself up for like this ain't
Right.
nothing.
This ain't exactly.
I'm still not.
exactly.
I
I'm-
should
Yeah.
have been here anyway because I was here before.
Exactly,
I'm trying
yup.
to get back here.
Yup.
Because I know how I am. So give me a chicken sandwich.
Yup.
Right.
So let me
Yeah.
sit there.
Yup. And we're. I have a unique relationship with this word.
With his word.
With this word I'm about to use.
Oh, what's the word? Can I spell it?
Is it fat?
Humble.
Oh.
Oh, humble. Well, you got a unique relationship with it? When did you get that?
Well, because I do believe you should be humble.
Humble.
But then some people say, like, no, I want to boast in my. So I understand both sides. So that's why I think that's where
But if
the.
you want to boast, you boast in the Lord.
I think that's where the dichotomy comes into play with celebrating your private joy moments. Is you want to remain humble. You want to keep yourself
But it's
humble.
okay. But it's okay to celebrate that I had enough strength to. I understand what you're saying. I did this. I'm so happy for this, and we know God helped us get there. But we had to still be disciplined enough to do it.
I agree.
You could have kept eating. You could have kept staying in that same position. But you with. Here's the deal. There is God's will, and He give you free will. So accept the fact that you took the free will that He gave you and made a good decision out of it to get the weight off of you.
Well, all right. Can you get this off me? And I wasn't
just-
talking about. Well, yeah,
whatever.
okay.
I'm just
See,
saying.
But see, that's the struggle.
There is struggle.
See,
Right. You
I'm
could
trying-
have just said, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You know, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, yeah, I'm right.
Yeah.
I'm
You know what?
right. I'm right.
Yeah.
Praise the Lord. I'm right, Shannon.
So we thank God for our private joys and struggles, and our public joys and public struggles.
Because he
And
said,
I wanted to say, like, as far as you being humble, like, we have to, like, I hate the self-love religion that has been going around because I think it's selfish, where it creates a lack of selflessness. You know what I mean? Like, I know I'm saying self a lot. Like, I think
I know what you're saying.
you know what I'm saying? Like, the self-love culture is rejecting loving people to love yourself
Right.
more. Do what you got to do. Take care of yourself first. It's like, no, I can't do that. It's like, you can't.
no, I don't understand what you're saying.
I do.
But that's what people are now, whatever they meant by it has now been taken to, like, I just got to do me.
Yeah.
I got to take care of
It's all
me.
about you.
It's
It's
all
like-
about you, and
Yeah.
it's not.
Well, self-love is supposed to be to take care of you so that you're in a place to be able to love others.
But that's not what they do.
Right. She's right. What they're doing now is removing the others part from it in totality.
Right.
Okay, but
Right.
then we just got to, teach them how to do it. Get back
They
to
already
it.
been taught by the culture. They do.
Oh, well, but everybody's not like that.
No, everybody is
And-
not, but the trend is be take care of you. And what I was going to say is that, like, what we got to remember to celebrate ourselves is that you're loving, what you're doing is loving your temple. You're loving yourself. You're taking care of your body. So you're celebrate the mind. Maybe don't make it a vanity thing. Celebrate that you were able to stay strong in mind to endure it. Like, that's a lot of discipline to lose weight. You can't eat what you want. You got to eat at certain times. You got to get up. You got to work out. So celebrating the strength that you gained to, persevere through, because that was hard. So I don't think that's, you ain't out here like, yeah, look at me, a new Tyson Beckford on deck.
Well,
You know what I'm
well,
Lord.
So you need
The humble just turned to a bumble.
Let me say this.
Or humble.
Let me be
He
clear.
just took the H off of humble. Humble.
the humble.
Once this 8-pack, I'm doing the show with my shirt off. Like I'm
You're not going to do that. I guess that'll be the open mic.
so
Why would you do something stupid like that?
I'm not literally. I'm just saying.
Okay, just joking.
But when I become the symbol,
When it's not the symbol, when you just get to the point that you want to be
No, I
at.
think he
So-
was talking about he was going to be a
Oh, but I know that's what I say. It ain't
The world is
all
doing
that. Because I I still have this shirt that I said I'm going to fit into this shirt one day. I'm going to get toned, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to get there. I can't wait to put that shirt on so I can be like, finally did this thing. So, be the symbol.
I'm going to be.
Okay, all right. But don't let the symbol, see,
Define you.
right? Because see, you so don't even. You know what? You should just erase the symbol out of your mind because that symbol is just like, just be grateful and humble. Like,
I'll be humble then. I'll be humble. I'll be on the beach with a coat on. I'll be that humble.
Okay, wear a coat on the beach. Fall out.
Our next topic. It's about friendship breakups. So over the week.
You broke up with a friendship?
No.
Oh.
I have.
Oh.
Over the week, I've came across some headlines about some friends ending their relationship in X, Y, and Z. So I wanted to bring that topic of conversation to the show to discuss when do you know a friendship, or it could be a relationship, but I want to stay on friendships, has run its course.
Things change. There could be brewing arguments one after another for just no apparent reason. There could be, I'm moving in this direction and you're moving in that direction. There could be, we just stopped talking and don't know why.
Well, okay, let's go back to the second part. Because I think that is the more common.
What?
We're growing.
Apart?
And essentially.
Going two different directions?
Well, going in two different directions isn't the same as growing
in two different
directions.
Okay.
But yeah, we're growing in two different directions. We can cause us to go in two different directions. Because your life is not going to go in areas that you're not growing in. I just said so.
Okay. All right.
But I'm not going to say it again.
Okay. Say it for the audience.
So what do you think that means? How do you think that looks? Like we're growing in two different directions. Because we just had a conversation off camera about certain mixes and situations.
But I mean, your mindset has changed. You no longer want to engage in these conversations. You no longer like life is different. I'm looking at life in a different perspective. I'm looking to do something different. I'm looking for a different type of people in my circle. Because I'm advancing. And here's another thing I want to say. It may not be that this person isn't advancing either. The other person is it doesn't have to be a friend breakup. You can still have a conversation whenever you see each other, whatever it is. But we just moved on for whatever the reason is.
So I'm glad you said that because I agree. But oftentimes we draw a hard line. Like we do cut that person off because we're growing and going in two different directions.
Well, are we cutting that person off or are we just doing we just working? You're just moving in a different direction and I'm not doing what I used to do, so I don't have the time to do what I used to do.
And that's what I think. I think that we are, especially as adults, we still be trying to maintain that closeness in our friendships.
Yeah.
And so when one person realizes they don't have the time, it does look like, oh, she's acting funny.
Right.
He's acting different. They're moving different. It's like, I'm really not. I probably shouldn't have invested this much time. And not in a bad way, but like I shouldn't be on the phone with you like that all the time. I should be making plans with you all the time.
Right.
Because I'm raising my family. I have to work. I'm trying to get a promotion.
Right. I'm doing different things.
I'm doing different things. Like we be too consumed with one relationship that it does seem
like it's a bad thing.
Like it's a bad thing, and I think that we need to figure out how to manage our time better.
And I think also when you get to,
I'm sorry, isn't that like codependency? Did you learn that in therapy? Like people are codependent
on another person.
Yeah, so like they need that person. Like I've been in friendships like that where it's like the person is like, and I'm like, I'm there, but I'm like overwhelmed too. But I'm like, let me just be there. But I'm overwhelmed because like I don't even need that much from a friend, and they need too much of me. And being their friend is overwhelming.
I've been in them kind of relationships too, and when I look back now, I be like, I would think people were mad at me or whatever. I've been there, but people might think I was mad at them, but I'm not. I'm not really. once you find out, like, life is so much better, it's so much full of joy, it's so much full of new and exciting ventures. Like, I don't want to stay locked into this.
This is why I get confused. Confusion is now set in.
What?
I set in.
He's confused.
I'm confused now because what are you doing? Like what is this? What I'm asking. What does it look like? To where as though, what does your life look like to where as though, oh, this relationship, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing either way, but what does your life look like where it says, okay, this over here is no longer serving me the way it used to. So now I gotta adjust, whether I cut it off or I gradually move along to this side. Like, what is it and how do you do it?
You just do it.
So, like, with a recent friend, like I just told her, I said, you ain't gonna be hearing from me that much in the morning no more. Because more the kids are back in school, I'm getting myself structured. Mornings are my most effective time. I'm not effective like that as the day progresses. I'm up early. I'm doing what I gotta do. Around 1, 2 o'clock, I'm like shutting down. So if I give you my morning, and because I stay at home and I'm running my own business, people are more structured, likely. Like, we have to maintain a structure where they have bosses maintaining their structure.
But they can talk on the phone with you while they at their job.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they
right.
And when they have to get off the phone, when they, whatever the case is, and it's no shade to them. It's just
no.
like, okay, all right. So I've gotten myself together now. So you're not gonna be talking to me that much in the morning because I now have my morning situated. I can't allow you to occupy my time. Mm-hmm. And I actually learned to say that, to tell my friends that, or like these people who I usually talk to on a regular basis, by an old friend. She said, I just really appreciate me, and I wasn't doing it on purpose, but me telling her, hey, I got this going on now, so that if she calls, she don't feel some kind of way when I'm not answering. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, this is what's going on, so I'm not going to be able to talk as much. I probably just did it because the kids were little, and I'm dropping them off at school. Thank you so much for doing that. I don't want to think that you're just ignoring me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And she respected that. So I think the friendship really doesn't have to fade. But
it does though.
It does, because you're not. It doesn't fade. It just isn't the same. You're not doing the same thing. You're not holding. You're not interacting with them as much. And I mean, if you see them, you still okay. You talk to them.
Right, but I'm talking about the relationships and the friendships where I realize we are just different at this point.
Right. I'm done. Okay.
What's the difference and what's the why though? Because I could point out.
Because you just said it. I feel like I'm different.
But I'm asking, what's the difference? Because
so let's say
listen,
sorry, go ahead.
I can point out that in one of my friendship circles, a lot of my friends are focused on marriage, not marriage per se, but because none of them are married, but family. Mm-hmm. And work. One could say, okay, bro, we different. Mm-hmm. Do I cut them off, or do I just gradually separate myself and catch up with them when I catch up with them?
Here's the deal. If you got stuff going on in your life, then whenever y'all catch up. See, we putting too much in it. If you got stuff, I was on the phone a lot with I have friends I was on the phone with talking. Like Shannon was saying, they at work and I'm trying to get my work done. I work from home and I ain't doing nothing. But they still getting paid, but I ain't getting paid. Mm-hmm. I'm not getting paid because I work for myself. But I got all this time to entertain you and whatever's going on, whatever dumb stuff that we were talking about or whatever meaningful stuff that we were talking about, whatever it was, it doesn't mean that much because I have a life I want to live. So it's not no shade to anybody. I just want something different. I want something more for me. So it doesn't mean that these people are bad. It doesn't mean, when do we catch up? We catch up when we catch up, if we catch up. And then sometimes I look back when we do catch up, I don't even really want to catch up no more.
See, and that's the hurtful part.
Why is it hurtful?
Because we're not going to act like this happens in relationships that are important to you. Mm-hmm. It ain't just, oh, well, if we catch up, we catch up. Like, that's just so cavalier to somebody that you had a long lasting friendship with.
Okay.
So if it's what's the word? You have to go through a
Grieve.
I didn't want to say it, but it's not grieve. Well, it's because it's not a loss, depending upon how it changes. It's more so an adjustment. That okay, we used to be like this. Now things are different. I'm gonna be like this. But the whole, if we catch up, we catch up, bro.
Well, if we catch up, we do catch up.
But in the context we're speaking, I think it's like we're saying, like, hey, I have something else going on. This has nothing to do with the friendship.
Right.
It has nothing to do with the friendship. So I think we're speaking in a different context. You're just saying, like, are you asking about like something negative happened?
No, it could be no. It
Because I feel like if I stop talking to my friend because I'm working, my schedule isn't like yours. I can't be as available as you are. I hope that you understand. And if you don't,
Okay.
Like,
okay. So what if you feel like your dreams and desires and your purpose isn't aligned with where your friends are? Then what do you do?
Then if you want, Mikey,
I don't understand the question.
If you feel like your dreams and your
Ask
desire.
the question again.
if you feel like your dreams and desires don't line up with the people that you're
Right, it's taking your life in this direction.
then I don't want to go in that direction.
Wait a
Right,
minute.
so I'm asking you.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You need,
No, I'm
you
trying to make sure I understand.
right, you need clarity. Go ahead.
If my dreams
And your desires and purpose is taking your life in this direction, because the people say everybody can't go where you're going.
They can't.
Right. So when you realize your life is going somewhere, it ain't just okay. Well, I'm not available to you in the mornings now. No, at some point it's like, oh, I may not be available to you at all during this next season of my life,
Okay.
or period for the rest of my life.
Okay.
How do you go about doing that?
You do it.
I ask you how.
How you
walk in your purpose.
You just go. You just.
So you think it just
So okay, let me answer that question.
But I also was gonna say this.
Go ahead.
Quick. I just want to say because it's not just on the person who's noticing a change to maintain the relationship. It's also on that person who's being quote unquote left behind to maintain the relationship. So if they want to hang out, call me.
But you ain't got time for them.
But why would exactly? Why
But
would
if
I
I
be
don't have time, I still just don't have the time.
But
That's
okay,
it. But
okay.
a friend
So
might make the time. Like I got 10 minutes or whatever. But that's all I'm saying. Like I don't really feel like. Go ahead.
and are they really? Okay, so I have friends in my life, and I just the last couple of years I went through some changes and some different things happened, and and I realized that my life is not going in a direction that I wanted to go in. It's not. It's just like I'm going through too much. I'm all over the place, and I'm frustrated, and things aren't happening. And how do I make things get better? And I sit still for a moment, and I look at certain things. I look at how I'm being handled. I'm looking at my conversations. I'm looking at my work ethic. I'm looking at who I'm dealing with. I'm looking at all these things, and are they giving me what I need? Not that the people are bad, because they're not. But I'm just not fulfilled anymore with these conversations. I'm not fulfilled with my work ethics. I'm not fulfilled in my life. So therefore, I got to step back and see what I need to do to make it different. So if someone is offended,
so what? So be it.
I mean, Mikey,
I'm not disagreeing. I'm not
okay,
disagreeing.
I mean, and I would hope that nobody, and especially when people say they know you. If people know you, and the people want the best for you, and they see that you're progressing and you're moving, then they should be okay. But just in case they're not, more importantly, who has to be okay? I got to be okay with what I'm doing.
Hashtag self-love.
See, and
Hashtag self-love.
Yeah.
Call it what you want to call it. Yeah.
real.
Yeah, I got to be okay.
Well, I think that's an interesting point because, and I keep using the word relationships for a reason, because friendships are also relationships,
Yeah.
and they're intimate relationships, whether we want to classify it as that or not.
They are.
Go ahead.
And just like you do in your marriage or relationship, because you said this is what's bringing it out of me, is that whether they know you or they don't. I think it's a responsibility in the friendship for us to keep getting to know each other as we're both progressing. And I don't think we do that in friendships enough, if at all. We only do it in our primary relationships. Like, so I do think it's a responsibility on the friend and the friendee, or both friends, to to keep on developing to keep on maintaining and developing the relationship.
In some friendships,
So my growth or my gradual exit or departure isn't catching you by surprise.
okay, in some friendships, you can see. I mean, I can look back and see like, I should have let you go a long time ago. I should have stopped being your friend. And I'm not saying anything bad about people. I'm not saying I should stop being your friend. Not I should stop. I should just the association.
The closeness.
The close is just.
I said all that, and you ended with I should have stopped being a friend a long time ago.
Because we make it. Sometimes we stay. I'm gonna tell you why I'm saying that. Because we force ourselves to stay in stuff, and then when it's really time to leave it, we got a hard time leaving it.
At the end of the day,
I agree with that.
I had a friend who was like, Shannon, your friends call you because we really value you. We do this and we do that and do this. And I'm like one of. I don't have a large friend circle, but I'm just one of the few that have 5 children, right? So my life is a bit busier in different ways in there. They're busy too, but mine is just busy. I have more people that rely on me. And not more people that rely on I have the people I got to take care of. So, and I used to sacrifice time with my children because they were so young. You know what I mean? So it's like, not sacrifice time, but like maybe I'll sit on the phone and listen to what you got to say and be that voice of wisdom for you and your advice and your shoulder to cry on, for you because my children were younger. But I caught while they were younger that I'm neglecting my time. I didn't even make it about my friends. They just did not value what I should have valued, right? Which was, I have a family. You know what I mean?
They don't.
Children. And at this time, they don't. So not even the fact that they are being heartless, they may not even understand.
Right.
They just don't have what I have. But I eventually caught it. And she said it to me, and I said, I understand. I said, but I'm not going to be that for you anymore. I said, I'm not willing to sacrifice any more of my children's time for my friendships. I'm just not willing to do that. When I can be available, I will be available. When I can't, which probably is most of the time, I won't be available.
Well,
And that was just it. And there was nothing more to say. I had nothing else to say about it. I was not willing to sacrifice that. That's what's important. That's the most important job, one of the most important jobs I have.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying right now? It's not to maintain this friendship. It's not to not be your friend either. But I'm not going to do all that I can to maintain this friendship while my children suffer. You may be here until I'm 80 years old. They're here until I'm 18. They're 18, possibly, and gone doing their own thing. Mm-hmm. I have to raise them and all that kind of stuff. So some things we have to put into perspective. Should I have even been investing this much time? That's what I was saying at the beginning. I think we just invest
too much time.
Like we're losing. It's like that FOMO feeling of missing out.
Yeah, right.
Like,
and what am I missing out on? I'm not missing out on nothing.
Given what I'm supposed to be.
Right.
Stewarding, and that's my family. I need to be worried about this, not that. But I'm not loving you. This is just no longer. I don't have that much space in my life to make this a priority anymore. I'm not 19. You know what I'm saying?
I get it. It just sounds.
Sounds what, harsh?
No.
What it sounds?
Like, I don't want to use that word, but so then what do you do?
What do you mean what you do?
I'm getting there.
We get there.
Because like you said, they'll be gone when they're 18, hopefully.
No, not hopefully.
Well, at some point they're gonna leave their nest. That's my point.
What do you do? Well, go find. What do you do? What?
What are you gonna do? Find new friends?
I'm not worried about my friends.
What? That's what I'm saying.
No,
that's the part you don't understand.
I understand. I understand it.
I don't mean to say I'm not worried about my friends. I'm not worried about maintaining these friendships that I have. They, as well as I need to understand that my friends are still my friends, they also need to understand I am a wife and a mother.
I'm agreeing with you. I agree with that in principle. However, I believe it's Marlowe's hierarchy of needs. Go look it up. I believe that's okay. Relationships. I can't remember where it is in the pyramid, but we all need relationships.
Okay.
I have relationships.
But yeah, it ain't gotta be with these people.
I have
Okay, so then what? Okay, so once. Oh no, this is what I'm getting at.
Is this somebody you want to hang out with?
No, let me get the question out.
Okay, all right.
This is what I'm getting at, because I do believe you can move on or adjust your friendships, but at a certain point, you don't think you find a new circle to cleave to
The kids are older, you mean?
in general.
That's what I was just saying.
Like once this season of friendship is over, relationship is over, I'm now entering into a new season of people who are more like you said. At that point, nobody had kids. So now I may befriend. I may now attract women or with family. So now I have more in common with them.
Right.
Now we're on the same page. You don't think that happens?
That does
That's
happen.
what we said that like we kind of like said all of that. I think you might took a nap.
No, I didn't. I wasn't saying.
But that's what I kind of said earlier. Like, you know, you're going in a different direction. It's a different circle, different people. It's different conversations. It's a different growth
You didn't
level.
say all that.
I think she did.
I don't remember that.
Well, when you rewind it and listen, you'll find it.
She said something around that.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
Yeah.
It wasn't specific to what you're saying, but that is essentially what she was saying. Yeah, like I have kids, so now when I had the girls, I was a part of K-Mom, Columbia Association for Mothers of Multiples. We have a commonality. We all have all these kids that we had at one time.
Mm-hmm.
So where people can't understand, like, why your hair look a mess? Cindy.
The K-mom skin, huh?
The K-Mom. My hair always look a mess. You know what I mean?
But then you hanging out with these people that, if I don't have no kids and I got something else I'm doing, but then I'm hanging out with these people that now I'm giving up my mindset, my growth, my time where I can be sitting down here. Like I said, I want to read the Bible more. I could be sitting down here reading the Bible instead of being on the phone.
Oh, right.
I could be out there handing out my business cards instead of being on the phone. I could be doing this, that, or this or that instead of talking to you right now. Because our conversation isn't giving me what I need. Now, not saying that sometimes we can't have a conversation that's fulfilling, but to actually sit on the phone and talk to people 3, 4.
So okay,
Yeah.
so let me ask you this, right?
Right.
Because see, all right, because now y'all are speaking. I'm saying y'all. 'Cause I don't know if I'm speaking from that place, but y'all are speaking from a place of you're the resource to somebody else.
It's not just a I'm not saying
Like
you.
using
Right.
They ain't got to be a resource. You
they're
just
getting-
be engaged in stuff.
That they're getting more, they're benefiting more from the relationship than you are. Am I gathering that?
I don't feel.
Am I correcting my?
I'm not saying
Am I
that.
correcting my assessment?
I'm not saying that.
I'm not going to say that because they could be also wasting their time.
Right.
I just can only speak for myself.
Right.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
can't.
that's why I said that. That's why I say, and I'll go back and say it again.
But they don't think they're wasting their time.
But they may not think they're wasting their time.
This is
But
what.
I've gotten to that point first.
Right. So this relationship at this point, no, it's still. You're agreeing with me in theory.
I never said I disagreed.
You just say you don't think you're saying that, but you really, but you're saying it in a roundabout way. Is that this relationship is
No longer serving.
no longer, however, but it still serves them in a way.
It might.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're speaking from that. You're more of a resource in this capacity to that friend than that friend is to you. But what about when you're on? Because I don't think this is spoken about enough or at all. What about when you're on the other end of that? When the person who is more of a resource to you, you're not a resource to them, but you want to have that friendship.
Go ahead.
So I've been there before.
You understand my question?
No, yeah, I understand that question, and it's like they cut me loose. Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah.
No, because how did it feel?
Oh, I'm gonna tell you.
Did it feel like if we catch up?
It actually did not feel good. But let me tell you what it did. It helped me to become a better person. Because first I'm like, what's wrong with me? I used to be like, I'm a good friend. I'm this. I'm that. And I know I'm a good friend. But what's wrong with me? But here's the deal: when you let go of that stuff, and it's for anybody else like they're being cut off. When you let go of them letting go of you, when I let go of them letting go of me, and find that I got 3 hours. I got time to do this. I got time to do this. I got time to do this. I got time. You fulfill that not with something similar. You not trying to fill. You don't want to fill it with something that's not worthwhile. You want to fill that with something that's going to progress you, to help you grow and be a better person. So it's like they actually did me a favor when I didn't know that they was doing me a favor. No matter what the reason was, they did it. No matter what, and it didn't happen one time, or 2 times. This didn't happen like 3 or 4 times in my life.
With the same person or with different friends?
Different. But it was time for me to move on. And then the same person maybe twice. Because I went back. But in the long run, it's better for them and it's better for me. And once you learn that, once you learn to be okay with you and who you are, and not worry about why this happened, not because if you consume yourself, why did they start speaking to me? Why did they start speaking to me? Oh, and still trying to be their friend, because that was me. What are you doing? You don't see the value in you? Like, there is value in me. There's value in them also. But more importantly than me seeing the value in them, I got to now see the value in who I am. I got to feel good about me. I got to see the value in me. So if anybody was left out, if anybody you see it's time, it is what it is. And that's how life is. When people die, do you know life goes on? Yeah. It is what it is. I'm just saying. So that, whether it's a major loss or whatever kind of loss, it is what it is. Life has to continue or not. Because it doesn't have to continue. I sat on the couch and I wobbled in misery and I cried day in and day out. Life wasn't continuing. But it's a joy to wake up. Good God Almighty. No shade to anybody. You got one life to live. God give you one life. Ain't nobody worth it. Nah. Not what he did for me. Is no, and I have to constantly remind myself of that. It ain't like, I got it. Whew. Because sometimes some things happen. Sometimes I want to pick up the phone. And sometimes I do. Then when I get off that phone, I got it.
Well,
I think I was going to say, I'm not really
phone person.
I'm not a phone person, but I'm not really a people person, and not like in a bad way. Like
I love people. Sometimes you can love people to a fault.
Yeah, I don't dislove people.
I don't say you. I know. I'm not saying you dislove people.
No,
sometimes
I know what you're saying. I'm trying to watch my words.
Right. No, I know what you're saying. I'm a people person.
Myself.
Right. But I love to be around people. Yeah. But I gotta channel that energy into the right people. Right. I gotta challenge. I gotta put it in its perspective, because I love to be around people, because I love to communicate with people. Does not mean when this communication cuts off, like I always say, they're not a bad person. Our time has ran its course.
And I think the dichotomy.
What does that mean?
Disconnect.
Okay, I just want to see if you knew.
Conundrum. I think the reason why it's so hard to let go, I think it's selfish reasons too, but I think part of it is like we're not really. I'm not gonna speak so matter of factly, but I question whether or not we're appreciating the journey of the relationship while we're on it. Like you said, sometimes it can have ran its course, and if I'm enjoying it, embracing it, because death will do that to you. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've never experienced it, but it makes you appreciate the time you had with that person. Mm-hmm. So if a friendship breakup comes, then it's okay.
Because I had some time.
Because you had something, like you appreciate what the value that the relationship brought to you.
Instead of thinking that it was something wrong with them, or they did me wrong, or whatever the reason, you had some time there, let it go. Right. That was good, Michael.
I think that I'm not always a good friend. But it's not like because I'm like doing bad stuff. It's just I think that I needed to learn how to treat people better. Mm-hmm. That's it. And it was biblical ways that I just didn't know to have. So like
right, that's a good thing too.
Yeah, like
right.
Being patient with people. Like I was telling you before, like I have a friend that I stopped talking to. In my opinion, good reason, but really, when in hindsight, not good enough reason, right? But I don't regret ending the relationship either, because it did for.
But what's a good enough reason? It could be a good reason. Why is not? What good reason?
Because of the friendship in totality deserved. Like, hey, me being. So when I say not a good friend, like I could easily detach. Why? Because I can be by myself. So
Mm-hmm.
that's something that, like, that's a selfish thing. Like, whatever, I don't care. She getting on my nerves anyway. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or just not coming and communicating what my issue was. Like, you've been a great friend all these years. Why didn't I just tell you?
Mm-hmm.
Versus made the issue bigger than the friendship. This issue happened once. The friendship lasted
Exactly.
years.
Right.
So that's why I say that I don't necessarily think that I'm always the best friend, but like I've learned, like even in that relationship, I've learned, like I don't regret the friendship not being in this place because I wouldn't be where I am because the friendship was so close. But I see where I dropped the ball.
And I think because we're throwing this word around
Friendship.
loosely.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have to really be clear
What a friend is.
what a friend is. And I'm not saying for us to define it
Now, right?
now, but I think you ain't got 10, 11 friends, bro.
Nope.
You probably can count on one hand how many real friends
Yep.
you have. The
Yep.
rest of them may be associates, whatever the case is,
Yep.
but you can count on one hand how many real friends you have.
Yep.
And I do think those, whether the relationship has ran its course or not, or when it may have been time to run it, when it may have ran its course, excuse me, I do think they should be handled with some grace because they are real relationships.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I think it should be handled with some care and with
What,
some
the
love.
real friends or just the associates? What are you talking about?
I was talking about the friends.
Oh.
I should be handled great.
Yeah, everybody too, but
Right.
I'm talking about the
like,
friends.
Just connecting with a friend so
Loosely, so cavalier. It's like, whoa,
Right.
wait, bro. Like I thought we was
Right.
like.
Well, I mean people have done that to me.
disconnected.
Yeah. And I remember the first time it happened, I was like, because this girl just starts speaking to me. I'm like, oh Lord, like what the world? And I kept calling, trying to get in contact with her. She wouldn't. And it hadn't before. And I'm like, but you know what? I have to find value in myself. I mean, if people are going to do what people do. They're just going to do it.
Now let me ask you a question. Because I've had a friend that stopped, and the friend I was first just talking about, like I reached out to her even after we stopped talking to tell her why, because I kind of just stopped talking to her. 'Cause I was like, over it, you know, whatever. But like I had another friend years ago that just stopped talking to me, and it really bothered me. So we talk every day, all day, every day, all day, every day, all day. The problem wasn't like that I didn't value myself. The problem was that I didn't know why she stopped talking to
Right.
me. And so somebody so close, like, did I do something to her? Like,
I'm saying.
so like, is it that you really don't value yourself?
No, I'm saying after a while. After a while, no, because I'm telling you, I got this one good girlfriend. I'm like, and I still say good girlfriend.
Right.
I mean, we were tight. We were tight, and like, she just like out of the clear blue.
Right.
I went out of town. I was gonna see him when we was out of town and everything, and out of the clear blue, wouldn't stop. I'm like, what? But after a while, and I said, I need to stop trying to figure out what your problem is because it's your problem.
Yeah.
And so now I value myself more. You is what
Like,
you
not
did.
that you do that stuff.
Yeah. I'm not going to figure out why you stopped speaking to me. It doesn't matter to me anymore. You know, it did hurt. And when I think about it, I still am like, oh, well, okay, but you don't mean that much to me. And honest to God, and that's where I had to bring myself to. Baby, you don't mean that much to me. So when I deal with people now, it's like, who comes first? Them or me?
They should come first.
No, they don't come before me. That's what they think. No,
So, the thing is that-
I come first. It's
So-
God first, then it's me.
And then love others like
Right,
you yourself.
yeah.
Right, and that's the thing.
And then
like, I just feel like I don't see this person as not the second person. The very long ago friend, I don't see her as a friend.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she was a friend until she no longer wanted to be a friend. So were you really my friend?
Right. Was
she using me for
Right.
what I served?
Look, I got people that blame me for stuff and get mad.
I think that's part of a relationship.
What?
Well,
Like it has a negative connotation when you say it, but using each other.
I don't.
No, I don't feel like I use my friends.
No. I think we all use our relationship.
I
I think the
think
problem
they
is
all-
misusing the
abuse
misuse.
of the relationship.
Oh.
And so I think that it's like I was telling the person before, I said, no, like if they're not useful, what are you here for? Like I'm not
Exactly.
here just to sit
Right.
here and play dirt with you. We're not 5, you know. So our friendship is built off of something that
Right.
we can
Some kind of
take
trust, some kind of
advantage of,
right.
But so. But when you abruptly just stop talking to a person, for like my mother's saying, like just like hey, she's not answering the phone.
Mhm.
Is she okay? Is she okay? Is she okay? Is she? What's going? Like you tell the person every day. It's like weird. So now that's what you feel like. Well, were you? So I don't look at that person as a friend. Like I don't even know if you were a friend at one point. But it's like there is no connection anymore because a friend, in my opinion, wouldn't do that.
Right.
Which is why I called the other person I was talked about to say, hey. I remember how I felt when that person did that to me. She knew the story. I don't want you to feel like that. This is why I stopped talking to you. Because I still don't want to talk to you. I still don't want us to get back there, but I don't want to leave this friendship without you knowing why I'm not talking to you. Because I value the friendship that much that you should at least know why. And that was it.
So I've had people start speaking to me for, I don't know. They got mad at me for stupid stuff.
Did he ever try to start speaking to you again?
I have some that stop. I mean that, but it's not because they. It's because I went after them. I stopped doing that. I'm not going after people no more. You start speaking to me now, it's a done deal. I'm done because it's too much. It's too much. It's just too much.
I think rectifying the relationship, there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't think you have to maintain. Like, hey, what's going on? Did I do something? Okay, thank you for that.
Because I find that some people they can point the fingers. Like if you pointing your finger, there's always three pointing back at you. Some people that I've come across are so perfect. You know, the slightest thing that I would never do that way. I would never say that. I would never act.
Well, it's always easier to look out the window than it is in the mirror.
I would say, you know what I do when people are acting like that? I take it. Like, if they say I did something, like, okay, if that's how this made you feel, I'll own that. I'm not saying that I did anything to hurt you, but what I did made you feel a certain kind of way. I had a friend who felt like, I didn't manage her birthday. And she was a good friend. So I was like, I'm just not good with birthdays. And she really couldn't give me the grace to realize that. I mean, I had an alarm set on my clock and everything, like, oh, I gotta call her for her birthday because I don't want her to think that she's not cared for. So I did that. I ain't doing much, y'all. It's like, I can't, it's but so much I can.
That's too much. We're going overboard now.
It's but so much I can do. And even after that, she got upset with me. I said, listen, I don't know what else to do for you. Like, I got your birthday set in my thing. I took you out on a birthday date and all that, and you still mad. Like, you're asking for too much. You're just asking for too much, and it's to a point like it's like I don't know. I don't have much more to give. So if you want to be mad, I'll take that. You enjoy your birthday. I'm your friend. I'll help you to celebrate your birthday. I'm fine with that. But you can't keep finding something wrong. It's
wrong with me. It's not something wrong with her. It's something wrong with you.
I don't think it's something wrong with me. I think it's something wrong with her.
No. I'm saying, well, then she's finding something wrong with you.
Well, they don't find anything wrong with me. It's just what I'm not giving to them.
Right, but it's still you. There's something wrong with you.
I don't take it that way.
No, well, you're not giving her what she needs, or you're not giving your friends what they need. It's something.
Right, so you're the problem.
Right. I'm saying. I'm not. That's what she said.
I say to them, I understand.
So you're better than me.
Your birthday is in another 364. I'll see you in 364 days. Like, that's it. Like, it just doesn't bother me. I have my own life that occupies most of my time. I deserve the same amount of grace and love and respect from you that you want me to give you. And if you can't,
they don't want to give it.
Then it's okay.
They don't want to give it.
And I'm not mad at you.
They don't want to give it.
You need to find a friend who can support your needs. I'm not that friend. That's what I have to say. Hey, I'm not that person. I tell my sister she want to call and vent. I said, I just want you to listen. I said, I got you. I finally understood what she was saying. She just want me to listen. I said, I understand what you're saying. Okay, I got you. Don't call me. I'm not the one to listen to
that stuff.
I do not want to see my sister going through this. I never want to sit and listen to these crazy stories and not try to help you with the solution. So if you need someone to call just to be a soundboard, don't call me. I'm not going to be able to hold my tongue for you. You're my sister. You're going through hell and high water. Why do I want to sit there and listen to that? Don't call me. And she got it. You got it. That's it. We have to create boundaries within these relationships.
She don't like that word.
Oh, I love boundaries.
Oh, now she.
Oh yeah, I'm creating boundaries. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll wrap it up by saying this with a story.
You've been quiet for a while.
I know. I'm sorry. This is gonna be another one I get timed out on. God, it won't be a
I'll wrap it up with this. I think I started this off by asking how. How do you break up with the friend if y'all going in two different directions? And you said, well, you just damn do it. But as quiet as it's kept, it's hard to initiate a breakup.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to wrap it up.
Go ahead. Okay,
No.
but sometimes you don't have to initiate it. Sometimes it just happens.
And that's what I'm getting at.
Okay.
Sometimes when you're out, and this is just me and my connection with the Holy Spirit, I do believe there's an element of discernment that you know when you know this is running its course. And if you're too afraid to pull the trigger, then God will pull the trigger for you. I was in therapy. I've been in therapy for a very long time.
Is it working?
We'll see.
Okay.
But last week I had the thought, oh, this is time for me to step back. Like this session, this season of therapy is over. And I was gonna go in there today and tell her, hey, it was good talking to you. Thank you.
But she came with her new.
But we're done. The first thing she said when she got doing was, I can't see you anymore because I have whatever she got to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I was nervous to do it, but sometimes God will take care of it for you if you're willing. You're not in therapy anymore?
If you're willing?
If you're willing.
What you mean?
Because I have to be in agreement with it.
Mm-hmm.
And whether
you want to fight it?
or whether
therapy in general.
In general.
Find a new therapist.
No, I mean therapy right now in general.
Right.
You done?
Or I'm done with it.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Celebrate.
That's a celebration.
I was about to say.
That's a celebration.
So the
Think for yourself now.
so the if you're too afraid, you can have the bullets loaded. You can have the speech ready. You can have it all down pat.
I think we're kind of on the same page.
But sometimes you're just afraid to pull the trigger. If you allow it, God will pull the trigger
for you.
Because I could have easily said, I'll see somebody else in the office.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And no.
That
So
was your exit.
that was my exit.
Yeah.
If to
When
those
you wrap it up, I
Okay.
just wanted to know why
Well, let's
did
wrap.
you want to? What was the fear in?
I think it's a fear.
it wasn't even the fear in telling her.
Yeah, like you said, you was fearful.
It's just like walking away from another relationship.
Yeah, and I wasn't not that I was afraid. I just knew like today was the day.
Right.
That's all.
Oh, so you were going.
I was gonna do it,
Okay.
but she beat me to it.
Got you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what were you about to say? You said you feel like y'all in the same.
Because with my therapist, she got on my nerves so bad. I just like, it's like she's just like,
Right. I was trying to end up here.
I mean, it's just like, she got on my nerves. It's just like, there's little things that was making me say, it's time to just stop.
This isn't working.
Yeah. She would come on, and I think the last straw was, we only talked for like 20 minutes because she got, her thing wasn't working or something. You're supposed to get an hour, and she wanted to charge me.
No, she did.
That was the last straw, and I was like, I keep saying I'm gonna stop talking to her, but she had some good points. But I keep saying so that was the last straw.
Well,
But I'm proud of you.
on that note, thank you. On that note, though, I'll finish it here. We always look for. I'll finish it here. Sometimes, and I had to do this.
What?
I had to do this. Sometimes it doesn't always take the relationship to no longer work to end it. Sometimes you end it when it is working.
Right.
It's working too well.
No, it's just
No, it's just
the work is done. But you enjoying it, or for whatever reason, you want to keep the work going. When there's nothing else being added to it.
Right. It's
Nothing
right.
else being
It's
added.
like you in the stagnant.
Yeah,
in
it's
the
like, okay, I'm
standstill.
not-
The relationship is staying.
It's yeah.
And it's not a bad thing on either party.
It's nothing wrong with either
we
party.
just we reached our ceiling.
Right.
We reached our ceiling.
Right.
I had to break with my girlfriend at one point. I just knew I had to break away. We were doing good. Everything was just going great. And the verse of the day of the Bible on the Bible app.
Quitter.
It's just it was something along the lines of this is the right move. So God will always send you confirmation.
Yep.
I lost my train of thought.
Maybe like no.
God will always send you. That's the. But my point is, we always wait for something bad to happen for the relationship to
Yeah.
end.
Nope.
Nope.
That's a bad thing.
That's
to
a-
do.
It is healthy to end things on.
It's
a good note.
it's okay to know when the value has been added. We had a great run, and we good.
Sayonara.
So for those out there who had a great run, if you got a feeling you need to break up, if you need to pull the trigger,
Not the real trigger.
not the real trigger, pull it. But if you're too afraid to pull it,
That's not the trigger triggers.
We know that.
Okay, I just want to make
If-
sure we
okay.
clarify that. I don't want nobody gonna say.
That's true because people be pulling triggers.
Yeah, don't want nobody
Well,
come and say
okay,
the mic.
all right.
If
Well, if
you have to end the
Oh,
relationship,
man.
yeah. Let's just because you don't want nobody to take our words.
but
for
if you
content.
have to walk out the door,
right.
ask God to open it for you.
Yeah.
So I'll end with that. This has been another episode of the Mike and His Mom Show. I'm Mike. This is my mom.
Shannon's over there.
Shannon's here. She'll be here next week. And we'll see you guys next time.